Fareed Zakaria GPS, CNN Sunday morning 10 Eastern and Pacific.
And now for our What in the World segment. So what got my attention this week was Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's invitation to President Obama to join him face-to-face in a debate on the issues that divide the two nations so severely. Now, the invitation itself was just a stunt. He's written letters like this before, and the White House, of course, dismissed it. But I think something interesting is going on in Iran. I think that the sanctions are beginning to make the Iranian regime sweat. President Obama implied as much this week, and I think he's right. 2 months ago, the UN Security Council imposed what the president called were the toughest sanctions ever faced by Iran. This set of sanctions included new controls on Iranian banks so that the international banking system couldn't be used as a way to fund Iran's nuclear programs. Also part of the deal were new inspections of Iranian cargo on the world's oceans, asset freezes on 40 Iranian entities, restrictions on the Revolutionary Guard's companies and activities, and a lot more. Now, President Ahmadinejad responded to these latest UN sanctions with one of his classic quotes. He said that the sanctions were, quote, like a used handkerchief that should be dumped in a garbage can, and dismissed them as nothing but, quote, annoying flies. I wonder where he makes this stuff up. But then the U.S. turned the screws tighter with its own unilateral measures against Iran, aimed at the nuclear program and Iranian support of international terror. And the European Union has followed suit as well with its own round of sanctions targeting Iran's financial system and the backbone of its economy, oil and gas. Australia, Canada, and Japan put forward their own sanctions as well. And now some unlikely allies are joining in. The United Arab Emirates, once a major hub for Iranian business, is cracking down, stopping the once voluminous illegal trade with its neighbor across the Straits of Hormuz, and cracking down on businesses with links to sanctioned Iranian entities. On Iran's southeastern border, Pakistani media have reported that all major Pakistani banks are refusing to do business with their neighbors in Iran for fear of being penalized. And Russia, once a key ally of Iran, supported the sanctions at the UN level and appears to now be enforcing them, refusing to sell Iran key military components. If you read some of the tea leaves, all this screw tightening does seem to be having an effect. The White House says that Iran is having serious problems enriching uranium now. Iranian ships are reportedly lying idle in ports because the sanctions make financing and insurance so difficult and exports become expensive. A strike by merchants started in the bazaars of Tehran has spread to other cities. And on the political side, not only did President Ahmadinejad so kindly offer to debate President Obama, but he also said Iran is now ready for, quote, effective cooperation to settle its nuclear dispute. Then this week, he said Iran was ready for a nuclear swap and to sit down in September with IAEA officials and representatives of the U.S. and other nations, of course only on its own terms. Now, we've been down this road many times before. We've heard Ahmadinejad say things like this before. Will this make Iran end its nuclear evasions? Who knows? Perhaps not. But someone in Iran is probably tallying up all the costs of these sanctions and the costs of maintaining its current course. And that'll have an effect one of these days.